He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new story time. And welcome to, hey, Ange fam, how rude of me. Welcome to, girl, I ain't fighting over no man. I went back and forth in my head if I wanted to tell this story because I don't have all of the receipts and I didn't put two and two together until later because I watched the patterns of when this would happen. And it's still happening now where it's like these fake accounts with nothing in them, just randomly, sporadically following me on all my social. People I don't know. There's a way that social media tells on you. So it's like I've never been the type of female to fight over a dude because I've realized a dude gonna do what he wanna do regardless. Regardless. No matter what you do, no matter how many times he say I love you, no matter how many times he say that girl don't mean nothing to me, and still be calling her, still be at her house, still be professing his love and singing songs and ish. That dude gonna do what he wanna do. And the main girl he tell you not to worry about, that's the ones you probably need to worry about. That's the one you probably need to worry about. But I've never been the type to fight over a dude. I've never been that type. Even in high school, like I thought maybe I might tell that story. I've never been the type because I watched dudes change their minds like they changed their underwear or like they supposed to change their underwear. Anyway, like real talk. One day you could be the love of his life, and the next day he can't stand you. And then he got somebody else that he was watching, and somebody else he done seen. And you see it all the time, especially on social media now, where you will see certain memes that say, girl, you are a 10 in your city, you are a 4 in another city. And it's like, if she a 10, she a 10. Period. You shouldn't be comparing her to nobody else if you feel like she a 10, because everybody is don't have the same taste and everybody is ugly to somebody. You ain't the top you ain't the top tier that you think you are either. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's always nothing. I'm not gonna do that. Anyway, so yeah, so I've never been the type to go about doing it, right? So this one particular yeah that I had off and on always came with drama. And it wasn't him per se, it was your people that you were supposed to be leaving alone. Right? And if you have to monitor a dude 24/7, if you have to constantly call him, like if he don't pick up and you constantly calling back to back to back to back to back to make him answer, girl, find you something else. Find you somebody else. Cause you don't even trust that dude. You gotta do all that. I'm not doing all that. Let me say that. I'm not doing all that. And if you have to do all that, clearly he ain't just for you. So maybe there needs to be a conversation where y'all need to do like poly or something. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't want to let him go, maybe it might be a poly situation. So anyway, it was always like this increasing number of fake accounts anytime there was an assumption if me and this little yeah was close. And the first time I realized it, it was like I got these messages from an account like I didn't know. And I was kind of used to it. And this was before my Facebook had got hacked. I was kind of used to it because my Facebook was kind of popular and it was kind of, picking up. And so I was learning this internet ish as I go because I was just thrown into it, as I told y'all. Like before my Instagram got hot, my Facebook was hot. and meaning like my every picture that I post would get 200 to 400 likes. And so it was like I would just say thank you, like was just flowing, like real talk. And then this was when I was introduced to like the fake accounts. And then when you go into your DM, you'll see messages like this. And I'm a screenshot one that I just because I was looking for a particular message. And I was looking in this and I was like, ooh. And it's just a person in there that I have never met before that I don't even know. And they was like, hey, yeah. So that's why I tell people, I was like, people be so quick or easy to want a high following or thinking you want to go viral. And that does open up an avenue and a window for you to meet new people and have good people come in. But it's also an open avenue and open up the door for bad people who don't like you. And then after you reach a certain place, you will find out that you have family members who don't like you either. Well, mostly confirm that they don't like you because you already know, you already have a feeling anyway. So I kind of noticed anytime that he had started coming around more often, I started getting these messages. And it was like, but when I first started getting the messages, I didn't put two and two together. I was just thinking like, okay, this is somebody, maybe somebody I know, maybe somebody I didn't know, because of course it's always like a blank. There's no profile picture. There's no name on it. There's nothing like that. Like they're gonna go above and beyond to not expose who they are, but they're gonna say whatever they want to say. And so, like I said, I was kind of used to like the negative stuff, like, oh, you're fat. Oh, you are you a hoe. Like you was you're like if you keep posting stuff like that, like you asking for it. I don't had like when I tell people, I guess like even with me describing this last situation with the dude backing up and blocking my driver's side door, there was one of my Instagram, what's Instagram called? Followers. My Instagram followers, he was saying like how serious it is, and basically I need to get a pew pew. And I was saying I really don't want one of those, but it wasn't like I was trying to diminish the situation. It's just like when you have been through so much trauma, it's almost like you're regurgitating it. It's almost like I did in the video. Breathe and deal with it, and then when I'm ready to talk about it, I'll talk about it. I mean, it doesn't change the extent of the situation, but it's just like I'll talk about it. Right. So anyway, I didn't put two and two together because like I said, I was kind of used to it. And then Facebook was new, like the high following, well, I won't say high following. I didn't really have like high following because during this time Facebook, but they didn't have like professional mode. So your limit was 5,000 friends, but you were able to open up basically like your post, so not just your friends could like it. Anyway, so yeah, this is during the time like you were able to open up your post so anybody can like it, or even like your friends would like it, or you basically, this is, I think this is when the start was like introducing algorithms, because like now the algorithms change to keep black people out. To keep black people out, because if you can notice when the algorithms change, because it's like, oh, you see this person have like 20,000 followers, and then they view their videos get like 15 views, and it's like, yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was just, you know what I'm saying, like I said, like the random people who are upset, like you got, you're getting all the likes and the attention because that's an issue for some people. And it's like they really want it and they feel like, well, why you getting it? Who are you? Like I look better than you, or my content is better than yours, so I should get all this attention that you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Or just to hate, like y'all do Ari. Like at one point in time, y'all absolutely love Ari, and now it's like y'all trying to do anything and everything to bring her down, which is crazy. It's like, what she do to y'all? What she do to y'all? But anyway, yeah. So I wasn't thinking nothing major, nothing anything of it. So I think I'm just thinking it's just regular hate, because like I said, I had started getting it, so I was kind of getting used to it. You know what I'm saying? And then I was already kind of prepared from it from high school. Like when you've been bullied in high school and people pick and choose when they want to talk to you, or you're the butt of the joke all the time, or you know what I'm saying? Like you feel the uncomfortableness, you get used to certain things. And then also I had been used to certain things from my, being in my house as well. So I was kind of used to it. And so I'll look at certain things and laugh, because my grandma had already said, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you invest in self, which is why I always say self-love, because people change their minds, friends change their minds, and you don't want to change your mind about you, how much you love you. Because if those people leave, as I repeatedly say, if they walk out the door, your self-esteem, how you love yourself, don't walk out the door with those people. So the first message I had got, like, this was during the time after, that would kind of give it away, so I'm not gonna say that. This was during a particular time after a certain situation had happened. And or was it before? It might have been before. I don't know. Maybe it was after. Anyway, it was around that time of the situation, and it was like whenever he was off with her, he was on with me, so to speak, but not really. And I looking back, I noticed like it wasn't that way, but I think in her mind she was making it that way. Um, because you could never tell when we were off and on, because I was never the type of person to put my business out there. So you wouldn't ever know when we was off or on, but I think you would assume whenever y'all were off, he was on with me. So to deter that, or to make it frustrating, because you have some men who like if you don't want to deal with them and they see you dealing with somebody else, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna interfere. You know how you see people like, oh, I'm gonna just make comments like, babe, why you need to text me back? Or I'm gonna pop up just to make people think like we're together. Like that. So I think you felt like, well, if I'm constantly bothering you, you will leave him alone, because that was the first message that I received was stay away from him. Stay away from him. He's mine. And at this point in time, like we were cool, but it wasn't like that. We were cool, but it wasn't like that. So it was like, well, maybe it was. Maybe it was a little, no, maybe it was, because he was sending songs and stuff. So maybe it was like that, but it was always like a off and on thing, and not for him, for me, because I would watch what he does. Like I would pay attention, and it was like, you not about to pick and choose. So it wasn't him per se, it was me with the pullbacks, with not going full blown in, because it's like, I don't think you really know what you want to do in the first place. But I like you. So the times that I feel like it's okay enough, or it's safe enough for me to dip my little toe in here, I'll dip my little toe in here. And then when I don't think it's safe, or I feel like it ain't even worth the trouble, I'll just be like, you know what, it's whatever. So I'll fall back or disappear or ghost. Cause it's like, what's the point? What's the point? So I hit him up and I was like, your people sending messages? Cause you were, I won't say you were known to do that, but it kind of felt what you call it, familiar, because that happened to somebody else that he was dealing with. And so I was like, your people sending messages? And so he was like, I don't think so. Like, why would you say that? And so I read the messages off. And he was like, well, it kind of sound like my people. He was like, but I don't know. And so I was like, are y'all good? So he was like, nah, not really. And I was like, I think this is your people. And then I started noticing like the messages that didn't have a face making crazy comments. And most of the comments are always to like, kind of down my self-esteem, like, girl, you ugly. And then you would go to Instagram and be like, oh, girl, like, that one was somebody, well, I would assume it was somebody else, but I don't know. But like I said, they would never have a face. So it'd be like, oh, girl, like, you a pick me. And I would be like, well, what exactly am I picking? Because I'm the type of person, like, I like a good debate. It's like exercise for me. I like a good debate. I'll pick and choose when I want to go back and forth with you. And then sometimes I'll ignore you. Like you'll say something and I'll leave you out there and make you look stupid. And for me, that's a big win too. Because it's like, now you look dumb. And it'll get you to stop talking. Because I'm not a dumb chick. Which a lot of times is I tell people, like, people who feel like who think like women who are attractive or who model lingerie, you feel like, oh, she don't have nothing to offer, like she don't have no brain, like she don't know what she's doing. And the whole time, like, I'm putting contracts together and getting paid. Not gonna front, the pandemic was a beautiful time for me. Instead of going through an agency, independent was a beautiful thing for me. So yeah, so once that kind of like boiled over, I would notice like the no face, the no face accounts on multiple of my social sites. But it's like, again, as I said, like it's so many people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't pick or choose. So this is years later. This story time is short. It is. It is. This is years later, and I'm assuming again that y'all are kind of off. But again, you can't tell when we're off or on or not, because I never put my stuff out there like that. I've never been the type. And he felt away because he was like, you're ashamed of me. Even when it started long time ago. I was like, no, I've just never been the type to put my business out like that. I've never been that type. I've never needed validation from other people. If I like you, I like you. This is between me and you. Why do we need other people to validate it? I don't need people to validate it. That's why I tell people, like, if people will say, like, like, girl, if I was you, you're not. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to make me feel bad for anything that or any decisions that I've done. I've always been woman enough to accept any consequences of the decisions I've made. Period. So anytime I'm coming to you woman to woman, it's like, girl, why are you in my inbox? Why are you in my inbox? Why are you talking to me? I ain't fighting over no dude. I ain't fighting on no dude, because he gonna do what he want to do regardless. No matter what a dude tell you about me, he gonna do what he want to do regardless. And I've learned that from every dude I've dated. They're gonna do exactly what they want to do regardless. Even with you there. Even with them posting you. Even with them confessing love to you, they're gonna do exactly what they want to do regardless. Because truth be told, there's a lot of times If I didn't walk away, I would still be there. And I'm not saying it as a flex. I'm saying it as, girl, because a lot of times people feel like I have to beg men to be around me. I don't have to beg nobody to be around me. And anytime I was seeing that man, it was his idea. Yeah. hmm Any man that I've been in any type of involvement with, it was his idea. So it had been, like I said, years later, and I'm assuming at this point in time they're kind of off. I'm assuming. Um, but again, you can never tell when me and him are on or off because nobody knew what was going on anyway. Nobody had a clue. There may have been a speculation, but nobody had a clue or whatever he may have told people. I have no idea, but nobody had a clue when we were on or off. There may have been a speculation of certain things, but you could never confirm or deny. Because I've watched a dude watch how I maneuver or react to certain things, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. How you were watching how I would react to certain things because you couldn't have me. And that was interesting as well because of how you would approach me, calling me your cousin. Right. Anyway, um, but I thought that was very interesting how you would go out of your way to watch how I would respond to certain things, which I would relay like, that ain't your friend. Like, he jealous of you, but hey, I can only give my opinion on what I see outside looking in because I'm the only one who think like that, but most of the time be spot on. So again, I got a message years later, no face, no face, no case. That said, I'm just warning you because he's rotating all of y'all, sleeping with y'all raw. Protect yourself. And I was like, and mind you, at this point in time, he had been around, but it wasn't like that. But he had been around. So the message came out of the blue. And when I got it, I started laughing. And usually when I would get messages previous, I didn't even say anything to him. I would just look at it and laugh and keep it moving because it was like, child, I'm not fighting over a man. I'm not fighting over a man. I'm not. They're gonna do what they want to do regardless. So I would never respond. So this one I didn't respond either. Well, matter of fact, I didn't respond because I didn't see it until like I think like 2 or 3 weeks later, to be totally honest. Because at this point in time, this is when it was on Facebook, and I wasn't really using Facebook like that. And it was either in the people you may know or spam. I don't know. But I can show y'all, like I showed y'all in the beginning, that message was in the people you may know. Have no clue who that person is, but I get messages like that. Yeah. So I got this message, like I showed y'all, but I'm gonna show y'all the receipt. And so I sent him the receipt, and I was like, "Who is this?" And so he was like, "Me? Nah, can't be me, cause I don't even move like that." Which he didn't, and I didn't either. And I was like, this popped up around the time, like I said, we were always on and off, so it's never really a time where you can say like we wasn't. there was always a check-in, regardless if it was a face-to-face or not. There was always a check-in because there was a mutual respect for each other. So there was never a time where it wasn't a, I'm just checking to see, just checking to make sure you okay. even if it wasn't a face-to-face, because there was a mutual respect for each other because of the things that we have done for each other that did not include sex. It's deeper than that. But yeah. So I was like, well, around this time, like I'm looking at the date, and it's around the time when you started like checking up and started like being more frequent with the check-ins. So I just want to make sure this your people. Like couldn't be, but I wouldn't put past it, which is what you always say. And so it's like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't respond as usual. And it's like, my thing is, even if you're telling me to protect myself, shouldn't you be doing the same? Because the whole point of you was to deter him to come back to you. Because girl, I'm not fighting over no man. Because the man gonna do what he wanna do regardless. So I didn't need a warning. I didn't need a pep talk. I didn't need any of that at all. I knew exactly what I was getting into. I knew exactly what I was doing because I'm grown. And I knew exactly the consequences of what may or may not happen. Because I face the reality and the truth about every situation in my life. There's no sugarcoating, there's no fantasy, there's no commercializing, none of that. So I knew what it was when it was. Because truth be told, it wasn't supposed to be nothing deep. And ish got real. Situations got real. And we bailed each other out of some murky, nasty stuff that people don't even know about. So there's a mutual respect for each other. That you probably won't ever reach. Again, it's not a flex. I'm just not fighting over no man. The messages have stopped though. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. But